Hello, love bugs, and thanks for stopping by the channel. This is Danielle, the taxcraftlady. I hope you all have started your new year off great. Okay, we're into 2023, you guys, and this, of course, is your year. Okay, I wanted to come in here and talk to you guys a little bit about the tax changes that we're going to see this year because I've already had a bunch of wide side eyes. So I just want to clear a few things up. Before I get started, I'd like you to hit that like, comment, share, subscribe button. Please hit that notification bell so you don't miss nothing the Tax Craft Lady's bringing to the table, okay? Let's get into this. So, there are a few tax deductions that we've been getting over the last few years, pandemic rules, that we're not going to be getting, okay? So, first thing I want you to think is there was a time a few years back that we weren't getting these at all. So, don't be so surprised because your tax refund this year will probably be a third of what it was in the last 2 years. Okay? Because a bunch of deductions that we were given for the pandemic and things we are not getting. First thing I want to say, it's not my fault. It's not the tax preparer's fault. Okay? Just call us the middleman. Okay? Because we're not the IRS. We're not your congressmen and your lawmakers who have made these changes. Okay? One of the major ones that changed was earned income tax credit. Another one, child tax credit. The child care expenses credit, the child care credit, and charitable donations credit. Okay, these four things are things that a lot of us have used, especially for child care and things like that. You know, parents need child care to go to work. So, I'm going to go over those real quick. The charitable donation deduction. Now, last year you could claim up to $300 deduction, and if you were filing jointly, you could claim up to $600 deduction, even if you use the standard deduction rate. So those things did kind of help things out a bit. Well, that's not in effect this year, so that's out. The second one, the tax credit for child care expenses. This is major to me because so many parents, I have grandchildren, so my daughters and sons, that's a credit that they use. It's a credit that so many parents use, and it really helps them out because childcare is so expensive. Now, last year, you could get $8,000 credit, okay, for the childcare expenses. This has been cut down drastically to $2,100, okay? That is a big jump. But keep that in mind. Keep these things in mind when you get to see that end number, if you're getting a refund and if you're not, and the amount. The third one I mentioned, child tax credit. This is a major one also, and this is just for having qualifying children. Now this has been reduced also, and it was one that a lot of people did count on also. If they, with the pandemic and with so many states having natural weather occurrences which took them out of work. I'm here in Florida, so we had hurricanes that had people out of work for months. Even now, people are out of work from our last hurricane, from Hurricane Ian, because their job was flattened, or they, haven't been rebuilt properly for them to go back into work yet. So this is a major thing also. Now, that child tax credit was $3,000 for children 6 to 17 and $3,600 for 6 and under. In 2022, that child tax credit is $2,000 per child. So that is going to be a big difference in your taxes, okay? Just know it, accept it, gulp that down, and accept it, because this is what it is. Now, that earned income tax credit. Now, this affected a lot of people too who didn't have children, and in 2021, low-income workers without children could get a credit of up to $1,500, which really helped because people without children, they often pay more taxes. They don't have nothing no dependents to offset it. In 2022, that is now $560. I don't know how they came up with the number. I don't know why they just didn't say, okay, it was $1,500, let's make it half. No, it's $560. That's what that earned income tax credit is this year. I will say for the earned income tax credit, the rules are actually not too bad if you also have a qualifying dependent or qualifying children, because the max tax credit went up a little bit if you have both that full situation, from $6,728 to $6,935. It's a few $100s more. So you have to keep those things in mind. I mean, it's going to affect your tax return greatly. Also, I've been getting asked questions about those Cash App or Venmo payments that the government's saying, oh, we're going to track these payments and this and that. One thing you need to know, no, the government's not tracking every $600 or an up payment that you get through these sources. Their law said $600 from Cash App, Venmo, or those venues for the sale of goods and services. So, just say you sell products online. Those things, those type of large payments, if you get those and you're not reporting them properly, I'll quote that IRS said that some of those taxpayers will require additional review and they take longer to process. Because if you're not reporting it correctly and those things pop up for them, for the IRS, that person working at the IRS has to go through your return page by page and check the things out. Audit. So you want to be sure you're reporting those things properly, so you don't have any further delay in your tax return. I also wanted to mention that if you're self-employed, if you do hair, babysit, at your house or whatever it may be, your side job, freelance, self-employed, you have to pay taxes. So if you say you made $20,000 in your self-employment or freelance or whatever it may be, just figure $2,000, $2,500 of that is going to be your taxes that you should pay. Your Social Security tax, your Medicare taxes. So when you do your taxes, that's going to get pulled. People are like, oh, I made this, and why is it this? Unless you reported your taxes throughout the year, you paid your taxes, you're going to have to pay your taxes now. So just know that. Just know your tax refund, it's going to be smaller this year. Just accept it. Okay? So be prepared. And it's not the tax repair. I've had people come to me, go to H&R Block, go to Jackson Hewitt, go to this, start shopping around to see who comes up with the best number. All our numbers should be about the same because those tax credits are finito. Okay? Get prepared. Make sure also that you have a valid state-issued ID, because if you go to your tax preparer and your ID is expired, or it is going to expire before your taxes are processed, it's going to get kicked back from the IRS. You don't want any delays. The IRS is very behind, and you want to try to file your taxes electronically. Get them in there as quick as possible, so hopefully you're on their algorithm of processing. If you have to paper file, you got to do what you got to do. Also, amendments are paper filed for previous years, so you got to think of that also if you need to do that. One major thing I wanted to say, if you have your W-2s from a previous year that you got them late, you didn't file them with your regular tax return, you can't file them with your current year's tax return. Okay? If a preparer tells you they can, this is not true. You have to file your W-2s for the years they were meant to be filed for. So if you have last year, if you have 2021's W-2s or 2020, oh, I forgot, I got this one late, this or that, well, then you have to file an amendment for that specific year. You can't just file them with your current year's tax return, okay? No matter what no one tells you, the IRS is not going to accept that, and I don't care if the person sits in front of you, tapping at their keyboard like they've done their job. They have not done that, and that's not correct. So, make sure you ask a lot of questions to your tax preparer, and if they don't have the answers, ask them to get the answers for you, the correct answers, even to print them out. You want to see the proof or the law or whatever it may be. Don't just accept the lip service, okay, guys? I want you guys to, I want to also have a good tax year, because we're going to already be cut down by the government with all the deductions taken away. So keep that in mind, guys. I hope everyone gets out there today. It's a beautiful day. But also going into getting ready to do your taxes. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment below. You can email, message, whatever. The links will be down below, and emails if you need any type of assistance. So thanks so much for stopping by the channel. This is Danielle, the Tax Craft Lady. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and that notification bell so you don't miss none of the good stuff that I'm bringing to the table. Okay, guys?